Hi there, it's Elena Johnson from Winnipeg Beach, Manitoba in Canada, and I'm just happy to say I'm so happy to be here with you tonight and being able to share with you a little bit about myself. And I want to give a big hats off to Suzanne Hard and Christopher Parkins. If I don't have her correct name, I'm sorry. I shouldn't know it because they're on my Facebook a lot, and we were talking back and forth for the last few nights, and I don't think I've really paid attention. I should have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hats off to them. They've just completed 3 days, 72-hour challenge. They had to shoot 100 videos in 3 days, 72 hours, which is just, if anyone does videos, and I'm included because I'm still not completely comfortable with them, I I give them so much credit, and it's made them grow as people and communicators, and that's so important in our business. So I am going to do it, Chris and Suzanne. I am going to do it. Just not this week. So no excuses. I have no excuse. I'm not going to give you an excuse because it's not going to be a great excuse anyway, other than I can't do it this week. But starting next week, I plan on doing it for 3 days. So watch out for the videos. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, maybe unfriend me or don't follow me for the 3 days. I'll get you fair warning to you about it. So anyway, as I said, I'm Atlanta Johnson, single mom, 2 amazing kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm lucky enough to have my own business that I'll talk to you a little bit more about after. I do a short little presentation I want to do on building what not to do when you're building an audience on Facebook. So mom, I've been since 2007, and it's, I've really grown in the last year as myself. I've learned a lot about myself as a person, as a mom. I've learned how to be a better mom to my kids. I hope they think that anyway. And a little bit more patient, understanding, and spiritual. And being in this business has really made me grow as a person. As Suzanne said, when we all start out in this business, and David Wood said the same thing on a seminar he did about a month and a half ago. When we start out in this business, most of the time, 99% of the time, people will say it's money driven. You're doing it for the money, but you're getting so much more out of it. It's amazing what you get out of it. You get the spiritual end of it. You get the motivation, the inspiration, the self improvement is just tenfold. I have to say, I do a meditation every night before I go to bed. I listen to subliminal messages, and I'm sorry if my speech is kind of off sometimes. That's from the MS. I try to control it, and sometimes it doesn't work as well as we want to. But anyway, so, I do have to say this business has helped me in so many ways as a person, and is growing as a person and as a mother, because that's the most important thing in my life is my kids. So that's my driving force. That's my why. That's my passion. That's my reason for getting up in the morning. And I hope that you have one. And I'm going to be doing a video on that next week on the challenge, because I'll have 100 videos to figure out. So watch for that one, because that'll be one of the first ones I do. And tonight I want to talk to you about how to engage. What are you don't want to do to engage your audience on Facebook? And that's a big one, because a lot of times social media is a wonderful way to advertising, free advertising, 100%, right there. It's it's where I get a lot of my leads, and it doesn't cost you anything. So you want to make sure you're doing it right, though. So, okay, so we're going to go through a few tips on what not to do. Okay, spam. That's number one. You don't want to spam. Don't be putting your link out there to 100 places and just be known as a spammer. And that goes to another point, is don't promote your business all the time on every post. Don't talk about your home-based business. Don't talk about your opportunities if you're doing weight loss supplements, diet pills, shakes, whatever. You don't want to be pushing them every post you're doing, because people are going to get tired of it really fast and they'll unfriend you. Number two is so important, is negativity. Don't be negative with your posts. Stay in a positive light. You can say sometimes they'll do a positivity, but it's turning it around. You want to draw people out of that mindset, because that's the one thing that changed my life, and it changed my life for the better, is not having that negative, being sucked into that negative aura. And with MS, yeah, I've noticed, I was diagnosed in 1997, and I was progressive MS, right, pretty much from the start. So any treatments and that, they didn't work for me. I tried it for 3 or 4 years. The self-injecting every night, and I hate needles, so it's hard to do, but I did it. It didn't help. And so I had numbness on my right side and pretty much paralyzed on the right side. And the last 2 weeks, all of a sudden I have feeling where I went to the doctor originally was my right hand went numb through these fingers. I have feeling in my hands, my leg, and my foot. And that is huge. What is it? Is it the negativity is gone, or the self-development, whatever? It's negativity is a number one cause of stress, illness, heart disease, I'm sure. So get it out. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Hate. Don't be hating anyone on your Facebook. If you get haters, and you will, because we all do, I laugh at them. I'll just, oh, thank you very much for your comments. I'll take that into consideration, and I'll unfriend them, and then we'll kind of joke about it besides. Bullying, I've done 2 posts on bullying. If you check my website at www.findfreedomwithalana.com, don't have any bullying, and I feel so strongly against bullying. And it's mostly because my son has been bullied in kindergarten, if you could believe that, in kindergarten. So keep the bullying out. Complaining, don't be constantly complaining. Don't presume things. Don't share too much on Facebook. Don't share everything you're doing in the day. People don't want to know if your spouse is cheating on you, or you guys are fighting. Just leave it. That's for somewhere else. That's not for a social media site. That's for calling your girlfriend and complaining to her. Sorry, Sharon. No spouses. As I said before, don't constantly post about your business opportunity. Don't post slanders or inappropriate things, claiming as freedom of speech. it's best not to do that. And, when you're attracting certain, you want to attract everyone. You don't want to alienate everyone. The same with religious views, political views. Don't be out there. Don't be bashing any of them. It's so important. You want to keep an open mind. And you know what? Is for, I'm a Christian. I don't go to church every Sunday, but I have a strong belief in God. I have a strong belief in a higher power, because if it wasn't for a God, my God, as I believe, him, believe in him, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. I would be so depressed and destitute. But you know what? It was God that lifted me up at my worst times, that carried me. And I always think about that poem. You see that footprints in the beach. You see two sets of footprints, and then the one set of footprints. And you said, God, if you were walking with me, I'm not quoting it exact, but if you're with me all the time, why is there only one set of footprints? And he said, that's because that's when I had to carry you. And God's had to carry me, but I have my own personal beliefs. You have your own personal beliefs. The guy next door might have his own personal beliefs. Don't alienate them. Don't, So that's very important. Don't talk too much without listening. That's, a good one. A very good one. Don't be just blathering on and on and on and on and on, and then someone posts something and you keep blathering on and on and on and on and on without really hearing them, what their concerns are, what their needs are, because that's how you're going to gain customers, by answering their desires, fixing their problems. Someone contacts you on Facebook and has they're having a problem with money. So, okay, you have a solution. Joining my team, I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you there's a different way from working 9 to 5 or being on support of some sort. I was on disability for a while with my MS. And I'm going to show you a different way that you can break free from that. So you want to be able to listen to that, pick up on things, pick up on what their needs are and their desires are. With social media, don't let it suck your time away. So just set your time limit up, and then, an hour and a half, then you're done. Walk away from the computer. Just walk away and then go back to it. But just don't let it suck your whole day in, because you'll not get anything done. And in this business, there's a lot to be done. So it's, we'll get to that a little bit later. People talking about nothing important, boring. Don't be boring. Make sure, and this is my final thought, and make sure you're engaging continuously with your audience. So if someone comments on your post, like it, and then a comment back. And by commenting back and liking, the more shares you get, the more comments you get, and the more likes you get, the more you're going to get exposure on your Facebook. Okay? So that's a good one too. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, or if I missed something, or whatever, just let me know in the bottom of the comments here. If it's on YouTube or my website or comment. I check them all and let me know what you think. Okay. If you want to join the link on the bottom, it'll explain everything. It's going to ask you for your email address, credit card, nothing. There's a $7 trial rate, $7 for 7 people that sign up on them. An epic training. I have Alex, a producer, my amazing. I went my YouTube channel to getting on the first page within minutes. So, and that's important too with Google, YouTube. That's how you're going to get an exposure. So make sure you click on the link below. Join me talking to you. Hope you have a nice night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay.